Alright, here's a quick video on how to create a form in Concrete5 on the Cal website. So I'm using the dev version of the Cal website, so I don't have to mess with the live version, but this obviously works in the live version as well. So the first thing we need to do is create a page that we can create our form on. So if we go to dashboard full site map, we'll see the full site map where we want to create the page, just like we would create any other page. So I'm just going to create a page under giving to Cal right now. So I'll add a page type, create a regular page just like we create any other page, and this will be submit your info, be the title of the page. All the other page properties are just like we've always done before, exclude from nav, whatever we want to do in this case. Alright, so we've created the page, and now we'll go to that page and visit it, and then from here we'll go into edit mode and add to main content. We'll add a block, and the block is going to be a form block. Alright, so it's asking us to add questions. Pretty straightforward, so I'll do a name field. The type is going to be a text field. The differences on all these, so a text field will be an input just like this. Text area will be a larger area that you could type a paragraph, for example, in. Radio buttons are the circular buttons, of which only one of the group can be selected. Select box is a drop-down box just like this one, where you get to choose from a list and you get to provide the list, obviously. Checkbox list is the same kind of idea, except instead of a drop-down, it's a bunch of options that you provide with checkboxes next to them. File upload lets a file be submitted. Email address is a text input field like this, except it's limited to only being an email address. And then we've got telephone, same thing, just says validation to make sure it's a telephone. Web address, same thing, just makes it do validation to be a web address. So I'm going to make a text field. Let's call this first name. This is going to be a required field, so I'll say yes and click add question. Your question has been added. To view it, click the preview tab. So we'll do last name, be another text field, add question. And let's do something like, how do you hear about us? And this one, we'll make a select box. So our answer options we're going to provide, just like it says here, put each answer option on a new line. So we'll do answer options, email, Google, newspaper, flying squirrels. That's not how you spell squirrels. Here we go. Cool, and we'll make this an optional question, so add this question. Now if we go to preview, it'll show us all the fields that we've added. And the other thing we want to check, if we want to edit something, we can go to the edit tab and click edit next to the question that we want to change, what type of field it is, the options that are in the list, what have you. The options tab is an important one. So this will be the form name. When we go to find the form, this will be the name that it shows up under, so make it something useful. Message to display when completed. This gets displayed over top of the form in a little alert box that says, whatever it thinks for your submission, thank you, we'll get right on that, whatever you want it to say. The other important checkbox is down here, notify me by email when people submit this form, which you can check. It will include all of the fields that they submitted, unless it's a file field. A file field you have to log in and download the submissions. Solving a CAPTCHA is required to post. That's the jumbled up letters and numbers that someone has to answer to prove that they're not a robot. It's good for preventing spam. I would go ahead and turn it on for most things, just because it's better than having the form get spammed. But if you don't want to turn it on when the form does get spammed, know that this is your solution, is to go in and change the solving a CAPTCHA option to yes. So I'll put my email address in there. Redirect to another page after form submission. So the default action of the form is the user submits the form and it goes back to the same page so they can submit it again. then displays the message at the top saying, thanks for your submission. If that can be confusing, if you don't want people to be confused about, did my thing get submitted, or if it's a situation where they're not going to be entering multiple options, one right after another, a good option is to use this option, redirect to another page after form submission, and you just click select page and pick the page. So in this case, we'd have to go in and add a page first. So I'd probably finish up this form and go in and add the page, and then go back and edit the form and say redirect to this page after it's finished. So you just create a page, probably it could even be a sub page of this page that we just created for the form that says thank you for your submission, and it'll redirect them to that page when it's done. And you just put a text box in the content block in the middle of that page that says, thank you for your submission. We'll get back to you soon, or what have you. And then add upload files to a set. You can create a file set so that when you're looking for these files, if there's uploaded files in the form, you can use the add uploaded files to a set to put those in a set so you can find them easier in the list. It's up to you whether or not you want to do that. You would have, if you want a new set, you have to go in and add the set in the file manager first, and then go back and set it up. So that's that. So we'll go ahead and click add, and now our form is right here in the box. So the next question we should probably want to know is, how do we get the results of this form? So I'm going to go ahead and fill out the form. Brian Adams, how do I hear about us? The squirrels, of course. And we'll solve the CAPTCHA. SD. But that's a B. RTR. Yeah, there we go. Watch out. There we go. Submit. Incorrect CAPTCHA code. This one's a little bit readable. And I get the thanks message right here. You can see it dumps me right back to the same form, which is a little bit confusing at times. That's why I suggest redirecting them to a second page that says thanks for your submission, unless the intention is that they'll keep submitting things one after another. So now I've submitted this form. My email dinged in the background, and I did get an email. But now, if I'm in Concrete5 and I want to see what's going on, under Dashboard, Form Results, and we'll see that there's two forms here. Submit Your Info is the name of the form that I just created. It's got one submission. I can view responses, which will let me view each individual response right here. If there was a file, this is where I would find the file download link so that I can download the file that they submitted. There's also this option up here, which is Export to Excel, which will do exactly what it sounds and download you a CSV to import into Excel. It'll only import the text fields. If the file fields won't be imported or won't be exported into Excel. So you'll still, if it's a form submission, you still have to go in and click to download each individual form link. So that is how you create a form in Concrete5. Pretty straightforward.